Hello, Seagulls, and welcome to SUTV News for Tuesday, November 27, 2012. Thank you for joining us. We start out tonight with the triple shooting that resulted in the midday arrest in Cambridge of an 18-year-old Salisbury native. Stephen Graves is standing by at the Wicomico County Detention Center with more.
That's right, we're at the Wicomico County Detention Center where the 19-year-old suspect has been detained, and the shooting took place at about 3:30 a.m. on Jersey Road. The suspect was caught in Cambridge at about 1 p.m. this afternoon. Identified as 19-year-old Miles David Lyons of Salisbury was taken to custody at about 1 p.m. this afternoon. Now, when the police arrived on the scene, they found 3 females who had been shot. One was identified as a young juvenile female who sustained a gunshot wound to her chest and a stab wound to the face. Lady as well as another victim are both at Peninsula Regional Medical Center in critical condition. There was one victim who was found dead, that is 39-year-old Lakeisha Jackson from Salisbury.
Now, we have learned that Lyons is a 2011 graduate of Wicomico County High School, where he was a star basketball player. Authorities believe that the suspect went on a violent rampage after a domestic dispute. Police say when they arrived on the scene, there were multiple children screaming and crying. Lyons' former girlfriend, who was 17, was also 8 months pregnant when he shot her and stabbed her in the face. The former girlfriend, her baby, and her 19-year-old sister are all expected to be okay. During this whole incident, there was word around campus of a mandatory lockdown during the hunt for the suspect, but campus police confirmed that that was not the case. And a woman was arrested on Monday after she allegedly assaulted a 15-year-old in front of Bennett High School here in Salisbury. Police say that 18-year-old Paulette Clark interjected herself into an altercation between 2 other subjects. Clark's involvement resulted in a repeated assault of the 14-year-old. Clark was charged with second-degree assault and disturbing school operations for this incident, which took place on November the 19th. Court records show that Clark was charged with assault earlier in the year for an incident that took place on January the 25th, and we will sure to keep you updated as more develops in this story. And one of the biggest stories in the news for the past few weeks has been the looming fiscal cliff, yet Salisbury University continues to grow and build. It's something I talked to SU Student Government President Catherine Mooney about when she joined us in the studio. We'll talk briefly about the budget. You know, we get it back and we're still one of the lowest funded schools in the Maryland state system, yet we're still growing, we're still building new buildings. Why do you think that is?
I really do attribute that to Dr. Janet and her efforts. She really is an amazing president, and she's always pushing for the best thing for Salisbury University. I mean, she's been here for 13 years, and the way that the school has grown exponentially would have been nothing without her. So I think the new buildings and stuff, I mean, it's all about capital investments and stuff like that, but alumni are always contributing. It's outside donors and stuff, and I think that attributes to the fact that we give a lot, and that's why we're able to receive. So I think the way we contribute to the community, the way that our alumni leave the university, they're happy with their education, they're happy with graduating from Salisbury University. I think that makes a huge difference in their incentive to give back, from going to school here. So I know it's definitely a struggle. I've spoken to Dr. Janet about our lack of funding and how College Park may have this much funding per student and we only have this much, but she doesn't let that get her down, and she doesn't, I think she definitely finds unique ways to bring that funding about.
University Television's YouTube page. An SU nursing program continues to stand out as they were recently awarded over $1 million from the Maryland Higher Education Commission. The grant is intended to help expedite and expand doctoral programs for nurses across the state. Salisbury University launched its nursing program, the doctorate program in nursing, this fall. The 3-year grant will help schools by assisting faculty in making courses more widely available. Meanwhile, the Salisbury University Conflict and Dispute Resolution Center now bears a new name. The center was dedicated yesterday and renamed after the late Reverend Charles Bosserman, who was an influential figure on campus. Family, friends, and student leaders alike, including President Dudley Eschbach, joined together in a ceremony to honor the former sociology department chair. Bosserman served as the chairman for 20 years and later stayed on board for the Conflict and Dispute Resolution Program until his death in 2011. The center now presents a new sign in front of the building with the new name, the Bosserman Conflict and Resolution Center, written on it. And 10 economics and finance students from Salisbury University's Franklin Purdue School of Business will travel to New York in April 2013 to participate in the Global Asset Management Education Forum, thanks to a $5,000 gift from the PNC Foundation. The gift supports the GAME student travel program, which will help cover travel expenses and registration fees for the forum, sponsored by Quinnipiac University. The event brings together top investment professionals from around the world to interact with students. Last year's forum attracted more than 1,000 students and faculty from 118 different colleges and universities, representing 43 countries, 42 states, and the District of Columbia, as well as 124 speakers, panelists, workshop hosts, and judges from 93 different companies and organizations. And some students earned their wings as they partied at the first Red Bull DJ Master competition, hosted by Red Bull. And the battle featured numerous local DJs to fight it out for the top spot. Students came to both dance their hearts out and show their support for their favorite DJ. About 5 DJs of different styles battled it out to win over the student votes. The competition took place last week. In the end, DJ Stream Crew's open format style walked away with the winning spot.
My name and I said, sure, I'll do it. Didn't really know what it was, but I've been getting prepared for the last 2 weeks for it, so I hope it's a good show. Both. I'm really nervous just because I've never done this before, but I'm also really excited because I've never done it before. And my music taste is really something that I don't keep to myself, but I don't really just I don't express it too much, so it'll be cool for people to see what kind of music I like, and hopefully they'll be with the music like I am.
And now we send it to Kat Murphy with this week's sports update.
Good evening. I'm Kat Murphy with this week's sports update. On Monday, the Capital Athletic Conference named Salisbury's senior guard, Trayvon Van, as the men's basketball player of the week. This was the second straight week that Van received that honor. After 6 games this season, Van is averaging 24 points per game. The men's basketball team is currently 5-1. Last week, Melissa Stansberry was named the Division III National Assistant Coach of the Year by the American Volleyball Association. This was the first time that a Salisbury assistant coach received that honor. Stansberry helped lead the team in a historic season in which they reached a number 12 ranking and won a 37 record game matches. This was Stansberry's last year with Salisbury Volleyball, where she played all 4 years and was a student and coached these past 2. Now to the NFL, the Washington Redskins were able to pull off a win on Thanksgiving as RG3 continued to prove that all the chatter before the season wasn't just hype. Griffin was 20 for 28 with 311 yards, 4 touchdowns, and an interception. The Turkey Day win over the rival Cowboys leaves the Redskins in the hunt for a spot in the playoffs. And on Sunday, the Ravens were able to ride on the backs of Ray Rice, who converted a 4th and 29, Torrey Smith, and defense that just wouldn't quit as they narrowly defeated the San Diego Chargers with only 1 minute and 14 seconds left on the clock in overtime. The win leaves Baltimore atop the AFC North at a record of 9-2. And lastly, in the NBA, the Washington Wizards continue to struggle as they fell to 0-12 on Monday in what was their most lopsided loss of the season. The 118-92 loss made the Wizards the 12th team in the NBA history to open a season with 12 consecutive losses. That's all for sports this week. Now back to Eli.
And for tonight's Campus Spotlight, reporter Stephen Waldron explored the world of Quidditch and its happenings on Salisbury's campus.
We're just playing Quidditch. It's a fictional sport based on Harry Potter that's been turned into a real sport, and it involves 4 different balls. It's kind of like the perfect hybrid of rugby and soccer all put onto a field with 3 hoops and brooms. There's chasers, which there's 3 of them on the field, and they're the ones who score with the quaffle. There's 2 beaters on each team, and they control the 3 bludgers on the field. There's the one keeper who defends the goal. There's the seeker who chases the snitch.
And I actually heard about Quidditch pretty much right when it was first being played in schools. I think I was 15 or 16, and I was just like, when I go to college, I have to do this. So I made sure when I was applying to schools, I was like, Salisbury has a Quidditch team, I'm in. You know, people look at us and they're just like, oh, they're just nerds goofing off, but it's actually really intense. When you go out there and start running around, like, you get tired, you get beat up, it's crazy. Help! You do not have to be athletic, you don't have to know anything about Harry Potter. We take anyone who wants to come out here and have a good time. It's a pretty big range. We've got really, really athletic people. We've got people who aren't very athletic but just love the game, love Harry Potter.
Coming out and play, it's just a great experience, and a lot of people have trouble their first time. Like, it's really getting someone in that first time. So getting them to come play, I would say, you know, just give it a shot. It's like nothing else you've ever done. And if anything else, even if you hate it, you can at least say, I've actually played Quidditch before.
And thank you for tuning in this week, and we hope you'll join us again next week. For SUTV News, this is Eli Modlin.